Hello, everybody. Welcome to our February book club live stream. Woo! What a day. Hello, everyone. So today we're going to be crocheting the square that I need. Hold on, let me take off my bracelet. Put this one on for work, and then now that I'm going to be at my desk, I got to take it off. Otherwise, it's going to be clinking and clanking everywhere, and it's going to drive me wild. So let's take that off. But yeah, today I'm going to be crocheting up the square that I need to make for this title, which is the Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. I'm a little bit behind on my February squares for my book blanket, but I'm not too worried about it because there actually weren't a ton of books that I did read in February. I actually had a little bit less in February than normal. So it's all good. But yeah, here we are. Here we go. Let's see. Make sure everything's all good. Sorry. Make sure everything's all good on my end. Not sure how many people are going to show up to this live stream discussion while it's live. It's kind of short notice, but that's okay. We're going to talk about Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by Jay Penner. So yes, this was our February book, and it was a cozy fantasy read. So very low stakes. But still with all the fantastical elements that we love about fantasy. So it was fun. It was a fun book. Overall, let me take a look at my story graph and remind myself what my actual score for this one was. 3.75. I gave this one a 3.75 star. So the granny square that I will be crocheting up for this book then that I just started is going to be kind of your typical granny square. And the colors, I decided to only do 3 colors. There's a million colors in this book cover, but I decided to go with the 3 kind of main ones that I'm seeing, which is dark green, kind of a yellow color, and then more of like an orange color. So yeah, those are the 3 colors that I'm going to be using. So basic granny square for this one because it didn't quite make it to 4 stars, which is easy enough. I picked this basic granny square for 3-star reads because I think that's like my kind of where I typically am with books is 3 stars. So it's the easiest one. It's the one that I have memorized. So yeah, pretty happy with myself for doing that actually. So yeah, shouldn't be too hard to create this granny square, but 3.75 for this one. It was good. It was really good. I've been reading quite a few cozy books lately, and they've all been suffering from the same thing, and that's that they are so cozy that they almost appear boring. And this one luckily is not that. This one was not boring. This one was, I don't know, it did have some good, I wouldn't say terribly a lot of excitement, but it wasn't boring. I was never bored while reading this one. So this book reminded me a lot of the Great British the Great British Bake Off. So it is, it was very baking focused, which I really liked. And you have the main character. Oh my gosh, I actually forgot her name now. It's been a while. I don't even remember what her name is currently. Let me pull up my Discord server. Here we go. Okay, Arletta, that's her name. Arletta. Let me actually move this over here so I can see it. Arletta. We have Arletta. She is, oh, now I can't even remember. I think she's just like a human. If I remember correctly, I think she's a human. And she's not magical. She might, yeah, she has to be a human. Oh, I can't remember. Oh my gosh. So again, 3.75 stars. I liked it. Wasn't my favorite book, but it was still cute. Arletta, she is a human. She is not magical, but she loves to bake and she's really good at it. And she enters a baking competition, but you kind of have to be a magical creature to enter the baking competition. But then she meets a elf, Theo, and he convinces her, I think he convinces her to, if I remember correctly, to join this baking competition, even though she's not magical. That it nowhere says in the rules that she needs to be magical to join. Anyways, so the whole book is about her she's competing in this baking competition, and the whole time she doesn't believe in herself. She doesn't think she should do it. She doesn't think she's going to be here. Every time she does a challenge, it's kind of the same old thing where it's like, oh, well, I don't even know I'm going to try today because I guess I'm just going to go home anyway. That kind of attitude. And that was my main reason why I rated this one a 3.75. I loved the fantastical element of everything. I loved all of the characters. The characters were great. I thought the creatures that were represented was really fun and really cool. And I loved the baking. The baking was just perfection. But about halfway through the book, I started telling myself, when Arletta would say something along the lines of, oh, I don't even know why I'm here. I shouldn't even be here. That kind of thing. I kind of, would say to myself, yeah, if you're going to have that amount of confidence in yourself, that little confidence in you, that every time you do something, you're going to be basically saying something along the lines of, oh, I shouldn't be here. This is not good. I'm going to lose. Maybe you shouldn't be in the baking competition. Maybe you need to work on kind of work on believing in yourself a little bit more before you take on something as stressful as a baking competition. That was my thought. That was the main reason I didn't like it. Let me take a look at my Discord too and see what else I said. Let's see. I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm going to try not to get into spoilers for this one. But let's see. Oh yes. And there is a bit of a light romance. It is definitely a closed door romance. There is no spiciness that happens at all in this book. And yeah, the romance was just a little, it was fine. It was okay. I could have done probably without the romance, but I'm not a big, I like romance, but it has to be a very specific romance in order for me to enjoy it. So overall, 3.75 stars for Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. The baking was great. The characters were awesome. But this, probably now that I am kind of discussing it for the book club, I probably will forget about this one in a couple of months. And when I do my yearly wrap up, I will be reminded that, oh yeah, that's right. I read that book. So it was cute. It was cozy. It did not suffer from the same fate as the other cozy books that I've been reading lately, where I'm just bored to tears. I was never bored. So that's good. That it has that going for it. And then the baking was just perfection. All of the descriptions of the baked goods was good. And the ending was fine. I thought it was a little sweet. Maybe a little too sweet. A little too sweet, but it's a feel good very mild, closed door romance about magical creatures, fantastical creatures, and baking. So yeah, I do recommend it for people that are looking for something cozy, that are looking for something with no stakes, and that want the Great British Bake Off kind of vibes. Definitely recommend this book for that. But yeah, let's see. Another member of our book club read it, and that's Cots, Keeper of the Skate, also kind of felt the same way. Her comment here on Discord said that she didn't hate it, but the last quarter of the book was unnecessary. And that she really enjoyed the baking. So that was Katz's opinions on the book. So yeah, overall, pretty okay read. I'm really glad we actually read this one for February. It was really good. Some of the other books I read were a little bit heavier, on the heavier side, and so it was nice to have kind of something light and fluffy in the middle. So that was our February book. That was really all the feedback I got on this one. I don't know who else kind of read this one. If anybody had any other opinions on the book, you can always let me know in the live chat or down in the comments once the live chat is finished. I do understand that like this time frame of this live is not the easiest for everybody, so this live will be available for you on YouTube. It will be up there on YouTube once I'm done broadcasting, so you can go back and watch it later after I've streamed it. But yeah, we're just gonna keep going. I'm gonna finish this square. Well, I got you with me, so that's fun. Yeah. And like I said, this is the 3-star square, so pretty easy, pretty mindless to kind of get it going and crocheted. But that was our book for February. Our March book, let me throw that up there in case anybody is interested. So March, and I know we're kind of already 10 days in, but if you are interested in joining our book club for March, we are reading a middle grade title, which is Redwall by Brian Jack. So pretty sonnet. Thank you, Frizzy B. Thank you. I think I'm really gonna like this this square when it is all complete. But yeah, our March book is Redwall. Oops. My yarn fell there. Yeah, Redwall by Brian Jack. This one, middle grade title for middle grade March, about a bunch of mice that live in an abbey. I'm actually working on the square, my blanket square for the Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. So I'm a little bit behind on my book squares, but not too bad, just a couple. So I'm not to the point where I'm stressing out like, oh my gosh, I'm so far behind. We got a couple that we need to make by the end. My February book roundup, I decided not to have that video in March just because I only read, I think, 6 books in February, didn't read a ton. And so I'm going to be combining my February and my March reads into one video. So once March is complete, no, not stressed quite yet. But yeah, once March is complete, I will then put both months into one video, just because there were fewer books in February. So yeah, March book club, Redwall, bunch of mice, live in an abbey, and then a big giant rat comes along and wants to take over the abbey. I've been reading this one over the past couple of days, and it's reminding me a lot of The Great Mouse Detective from Disney. It's different because there is no like Sherlock Holmes element to it, but you have a bunch of mice and then you have a big bad meanie that's a rat. And yeah, it just kind of reminds me a lot of that. So that'll be our March book. So I will schedule that book club live discussion in April sometime. Hopefully it'll be earlier than like the 10th of the month. But yeah, this is the square that I'm working on now, is the square for this book. So I think that's going to look pretty nice. I think I'm going to really like this one. I don't know. The orange, yellow, and the green is very like 70s. Oh, okay. Absolutely. I would love to have you join me in the Hive interview series. Absolutely. If you have an email, I can send you the info. Absolutely. So my email, if you want to send me that email, that info sounds great. It's thesonnetsilence@gmail.com. So pretty simple. Just my channel name at gmail.com. And yeah, we can take a look and see. I would love to do that. That sounds amazing. That sounds wonderful. But yeah, here's that square. Super duper fun. I like that it's the dark green. I think that's really nice. But yeah, if anybody's just kind of, lurking while you watch, that's all good. Appreciate you just for being here. You don't have to participate to enjoy the content. But if anybody does want to share like projects that they are working on, books that they are reading, things just going on in life that you're really excited about, feel free to shout out all of the wonderful things that you're working on or enjoying. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Frizzy B. I appreciate you so much. I look forward to getting that email. Absolutely. I did recently start a new job, so things have been a little bit different in my home and over on my channel and stuff. There was a little bit of a lull, but I'm thinking things are going to kind of start smoothing out a little bit now that I'm not used to, but getting the hang of working. So I do have my next video planned for Saturday, or not Saturday, Sunday. Sundays are going to be the upload days now. Just gives me one extra day to get those done. But Sunday's video this week, I guess, well, next week, you get what I'm saying. The Sunday coming up. The video is going to be a new episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Amigurumi, and I'm really excited for that one. So that should be really fun. What else do we have coming up? I recently got a new e-reader, and it is one that I am able to like annotate on. So I'm looking forward to actually pulling up some of my crochet books and seeing how I can use an e-reader for some of my amigurumi books. So that video is coming up. And then also other videos coming up in about a month. I will be going to Salem, Massachusetts for their Fiber Witch Festival. So that second weekend in April is the Fiber Witch Festival, and I'm going to have some videos all about like going to the festival. Me and my sister are going to go. There'll be a vlog about all of the yarn and all of the fun things that are going on. So that's my plan for the channel for the next couple of weeks. Good, the Bad, and the Amigurumi. Amigurumi books on an e-reader, and the Fiber Witch Festival. So I can't wait. I'm a crochet channel, mostly nice. Also, children's book author, illustrator. Oh, amazing. And re-releasing my Tales of Whimsy series under my own imprint, Frizzy B Books. I'm redesigning the cover art at the moment. That sounds incredible. Listen, Frizzy B, that is like my ultimate dream, is to write and illustrate my own children's novel. That is wonderful. I love to hear that. That's so cool. And then love the crochet too. Love, love, love the crochet. But yeah, I work at a library, so books are a big part of my days. Books, children's programming, children's books, especially as a mom. You know, lots. That's my life. Crocheting, children, and books. That's my life, pretty much. We'll have lots to chat about. Absolutely. How exciting. So exciting. I love to hear about all people's journeys and how, like, what they're accomplishing. Oh, it just makes me so excited. I crochet my storybook characters. So cute. And used to work at a library for years before moving to Washington. Wow. That's that's amazing. And you crochet your characters. That is so cute. That is so, so cute. I love everything about that. Because you said you were the writer and the illustrator, the author and illustrator. That, and then you crochet the characters. That's like the dream. How fun. How fun. But yeah, if anybody else wants to share what you're working on, share what you're reading. I have quite a few books at the moment that I'm reading. I have, well, now 3. I have 3 that I'm currently reading. It was 4, but I finished one last night. Phew. I should probably finish one before I start the next one. When they get the books, so cute. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. And as a mom, like, whenever I was able to find like plush versions of the characters from the children's books, my kiddo would just love it. So I love that idea of having the crocheted characters to go along with the books. Oh, it's so great. That is so cute. And I just know children just love it. All right. So we have 2 more rounds here to go. That is so cool. But yeah, currently working on the square for this book here. If you're not familiar, I'm actually doing a book blanket. So every book that I read in 2025 will have its own square. And the square is determined by the star rating that I give the book and then the colors of that cover. So we are working on the Fellowship of Bakers and Magic right now. It was a 3.75 star. So we're doing this basic granny square. So yeah, I have about 2 more rounds here. The Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. It was good. Yeah, it was, yeah. It was good. It was good. I do have, some critiques of it, but overall, I did enjoy myself. And it was exactly what I signed up for. And that was a cozy fantasy that was baking. So it is exactly what I signed up for sure. Not my favorite book of the year. Might forget about it here soon, but overall, I am happy that I read it. Ish, yeah, ish. It's good. It's good. I was mentioning earlier, the one thing I didn't like is that the character didn't have much confidence. And at first, that was fine. Was a little intimidated by the baking challenge, didn't know if her skills were up to par, but then we were at least a halfway, if not 3/4 of the way through the book, and this character was still doubting herself, like, oh, I should just pack up now because I'm gonna be going home anyways. And at first I was like, oh, it's okay, you got this. But then after like a couple of the challenges, I was like, listen, okay, if you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen then. Like literally. If it's that stressful, maybe you're not ready. That was my biggest issue with the book. So yeah, that's about it. And overall pretty cute. The romance was a little meh, but romance has to be really, yeah. After so many, pages of her just doubting herself, I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. You're obviously not ready yet. But yeah, my romance too. I'm very particular about romance. And so it was just, there was so little of it. There was so little happening with the romance that it was kind of boring. So yeah. Like I don't mind spice in my books, as long as it's like more mature. And I don't mean like the content. I mean, a lot of spicy books, it's just, two hot people hooking up, and that's fine. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more of an emotional attachment when it comes to the spice in my book. And then when it comes to other romances, there's got to be at least some kind of sparks going. I mean, there was like, I don't even think they kissed. They might have kissed, but that was it. And that was like, it took the whole book to get there. So that's a little too slow moving for me. I need a good medium. I need that Goldilocks zone of my romance where it's believable and yeah. That's the best way to put it. The medium zone. Medium and believable. That's all I need. But yeah, I wouldn't even say the romance is like the main focus of this book. Yeah. The baking competition was definitely the most was the focus. So it was okay. But in those situations, I'm like, well, then just leave the romance out of it, But this is a series, though. So it is a series. There are multiple in the series. And so maybe it goes somewhere after that. Maybe this was just the first book and we were just building up to this romance that will be the two characters. But I liked the book. I don't think I'm going to finish the series, though. Maybe I might pick up the next book in the series. I'm sorry, so many notifications on my watch. Oh my gosh. I might pick up the next one if I don't know what to read or I'm really in the mood for something cozy. But right now, my to be read list is just too long and I'm too excited about a lot of the titles on the list for me to dive into more in this series. But Jay Penner, I actually didn't look up too much about this author, but they have, oh gosh, I want to say at least 3 more books in this series. So yeah. Exactly. If there was nothing else on my list to read, or if everything on my list was like really high stakes fantasy or really heavy content wise, and I just read a really heavy book and I needed that break. I needed something light and whimsical and cozy. Then I would maybe consider picking up another one in the series. If that's the kind of vibe I needed. But I am not rushing to pick up the next ones. But I do feel like if there's a reader out there who they only like the cozy titles, like that's what they read. They read just cozy fantasy. That's all they like, because they just like to be in their warm little bubble. And I think that's great. I would say definitely check out the other ones, because I would imagine they're worth it just as much. So Yeah, if that's what you're looking for, these books definitely do deliver. But as I was saying earlier, the problem with cozy books at times is because they are intended to be like a warm bath and to make you feel happy, there's a lot of times where nothing happens. Nothing really important happens. And so it kind of at times leaves me like, well, what's the point? But every now and then I do like a good slice of life where we're just kind of looking into a cozy little life of an elf. I mean, that's cool. There were orcs, lots of elves. I feel elves and fairies are really popular right now. Yeah, there really isn't. And that's the point. Most people don't want the substance. But I guess just me as a reader, I need at least some kind of substance, right? I kind of talk about this with my daughter. She's very young, so I totally get it. But she's at this stage in her life where she doesn't like to watch any type of movie with any conflict in it. So the perfect example, like Encanto, I'll ask her, do you want to watch Encanto? And she will say no, because they yell at each other. So I'm like, okay. I'll ask her about another one. She's like, is there yelling in that one? The big one for a long time was disrespect. Mom, is there disrespect in the movie? And so I had to explain to her that, you know, sometimes a lot of movies have disrespect in them and yelling and conflict, because that's what is an engaging story. We need that conflict so that we can have that resolution. But she doesn't want any conflict. So we watch the Muppets, even though that does have lots of conflict in it. But for whatever reason, those Muppets, it's totally fine. Luckily, there's like 8 Muppet movies, so we don't have to watch the same one over and over. Any of the Muppets, she seems to enjoy just fine. I watched a video recently where a gal recommended books with, Studio Ghibli vibes. Very cool. Ghibli. I can't remember. So I think it's Ghibli. Studio Ghibli vibes. Very cool. Yeah, I'll have to take a look. I know there's Howl's Moving Castle. Obviously, that one would probably have some Ghibli vibes. That's really cool. Look how pretty that square looks. I think that looks great compared to the cover. That's awesome. That's wonderful. I love that. Okay. Which is, yeah, I think it's Ghibli. I think it is Ghibli. Because I want to say Ghibli. And then I remember a friend of mine said, no, that's not correct. Yeah. Very fun. Very fun. I didn't grow up watching many Ghibli titles. Just it was never really an option at my household. So it hasn't been until the past couple of years that I started watching more of those. Hold on, I have to not listen to this song because that's kind of frustrating. Whatever that was. There we go. Fast forward out of that one. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So here we are. The last one. Last little cluster of this square. And we are done. Perfect. Woohoo, we did it. I'm 40 now. Awesome. Yeah. I just had the past like 2 years, we started with Kiki's Delivery Service and we've slowly watched quite a few more. Haven't done a ton of them just because I know some of them aren't quite appropriate for the kiddo. But we have done the ones that are child appropriate. So that's good. I don't know where my scissors are. I think I might have some here in this project bag. Maybe? Oh, yes. Here we go. scissors. So there's that one. That square is done for our book blanket. I will have to weave in those ends, but that's no big deal. I can probably do that during dance class tonight. But yeah, there is our square for a Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. Pretty fun. I like how this one turned out. So yeah, that was our February book club discussion. Totoro and Ponyo, your daughter. Oh yes, she does love Ponyo. I think that's her favorite is Ponyo. And then Totoro is my favorite. I loved Totoro. She liked Totoro, okay. But there's one part where May and her sister, I can't remember, they kind of get in a fight towards the end, and she did not like that. So she's like, no, I don't want to watch Totoro because they got in a fight. It's okay. She'll outgrow it, I'm sure. Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll just never like conflict in movies, who knows. But yeah, our March book, again, if you want to read for middle grade March, we're doing Redwall by Brian Jack, and then I will be scheduling that book club live discussion sometime in April. But that's it for our live discussion. If you didn't get to join the live and you're viewing this video after it's been uploaded to YouTube, definitely comment down below what you thought of A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic, recommendations maybe for our April book. And yeah, new video will be out on Sunday where I will be doing an episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Amigurumi. And I'm just trying to think. I think that's it. I think that's it for me. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for joining me while I crocheted up the square. Thank you for the chat. It was so awesome to have a chat with you, Frizzy B. I appreciate you so much. So thank you so much for being awesome. But yeah, thanks everyone. I love you so much. You are so wonderful. And I'll see you guys all a little bit later. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye everybody. See you later.